If I'm sniffling, it's because Iron Man's dead. You know, I really feel like Iron Man was always the end game. He kicked off this universe and then he ended it with one snap. I am Iron Man. Yeah, it's continuing on since then, but this saga started with him. This universe was built with Tony Stark, with Robert Downey Jr. It all started with him. He's the guy that kicked it all off. And then it ended with him. The best phase three, I guess there's one more Spider-Man, but like the the Infinity Saga ended with Iron Man. I am Iron Man. Let's try to unpack this thing. Holy. I think Endgame is the best there ever was. It's as good as it's going to get. You can't beat Endgame. I think maybe on some level I might have liked Infinity War a little bit more because of they lost, and it was this epic build up to the first confrontation. Endgame, though, was just so epic. The pure scale of Endgame, even when they do Secret Wars, there's no way it's going to connect and hit as hard as Endgame. Because the reality is, this new group that we follow, no one's going to care about them as much as they cared about Iron Man, Black Widow, Captain America. It's just not going to happen. They can try, but it's not going to work. They need time to build the relationships up with those characters. The battle at the end, when I think of epic final confrontation battles, I think Battle of Helm's Deep, Battle of the Bastards, stuff like that. This is on that level. I really believe that. People are going to think, oh, are you crazy? Listen, it was. You can't call it the Battle of Endgame and not think that belongs in this great hall of great battles. It does. It really does. The only thing I wish they didn't do is the whole time travel to fix everything. Couldn't they have done something where everyone was in the Soul Stone and they had to kind of take the stone from Thanos? Maybe he had them in some kind of fortress surrounded by guards and they could have still done this battle. I don't know. I guess it might not have been the same, but I just really don't like the idea of just going back in time to fix everything because it kind of makes the other stuff feel cheap. Although they didn't necessarily erase what he did, because as we see in Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the properties that came after, there is a ripple effect from what Thanos did in that 5-year gap that is really felt. A lot of people actually agreed with Thanos in the MCU. The standout for me has to be Robert Downey Jr. The guy absolutely nailed every single scene he's been in since Iron Man 1 to his last appearance here. Just absolutely crushed it. Right, Miles? Huh? Miles is looking at me. Yeah, you like Iron Man, right? They're both looking at me. They both looked up as soon as I said Iron Man. Even dogs who don't even understand anything love Iron Man. How are you going to foster that relationship with somebody again? I guess you could say Spider-Man would probably be that. But the issue with Spider-Man is it's really just maybe him and Doctor Strange maybe, but not at the same level. I think with this core group of Avengers, you had the Hulk, Captain America, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Iron Man, and Thor. Those guys were everything to people. They all had great stories. Everybody felt connected to those characters, and there was a group. The beginning was so dark, where you had this sickly Tony Stark picked up by Captain Marvel and brought to Earth. Said we need a suit of armor around the world, blah, blah, blah. Just absolutely withered away. He looked like he was about to die. He was on the precipice of death right when Captain Marvel picked him up. Then he goes and he has this beautiful, nice family with Pepper. I Love You 3000. Oh, let's talk about memes too. I'm going all over the place. There's just so many good things. So you had Tony Stark's amazing story, which led me to remember the memes. There's so many epic memes. I Love You 3000. Scarlet Witch about to destroy Thanos. You took everything from me. And then he's like, I don't even know who you are. So many people meme that scene. This movie is a cultural moment in cinema. People are going to think that I'm stupid for saying that because it's Marvel. It is a cultural moment in cinema. You went to go watch EndGame. If you watched EndGame, you would remember the exact moment Thor's hammer went to Captain America and everyone cheered. You would remember when Falcon said on your left, and the gold circles appeared. Everyone came through. People cheered. It was a spectacle going to see this movie. When was the last time you remember a movie being a spectacle like this? For me, it would probably be No Way Home. I can't think of any non-Marvel related movies that have been spectacles like this. I want to say the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, but I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I mean, this movie was that. It was that at its absolute best. People were going nuts. It was incredible. To be there with everybody on the Thursday it came out, I had chills. And everybody was cheering, right? But when everyone was quiet? When Iron Man died. Thanos grabbed the gauntlet. He put it, the Infinity Stones were on his wrist. And he's like, I am inevitable. And then Iron Man, nothing happens. And then it pans to Iron Man, and the stones are killing him. And he's like, I am Iron Man. Oh, it's so amazing. I can't believe it. Let's see how well this movie did at the box office. I'm going to give you all a second to try and figure out how the movie did while I'm pulling it up. Okay, do you all have a second? So Avengers Endgame had a budget of $400 million. I think that's more than the last two movies we covered combined. Well, no, because one of them was Infinity War. The last two non-Avengers movies combined. So I cannot believe how much money this movie made. Actually, I shouldn't be surprised. It's the culmination of 10 years of just epic movie buildup. But Avengers Endgame made $2.8 billion on a $400 million budget. This movie is going to be studied by studios for generations to come on how to build a universe, how to make that money at the box office, what to build up to. It cannot get better than this. The action, the little moments of humor, the epic final confrontation, the tears that came when Iron Man left, or when Captain America finally had that last dance with Peggy. It was just so perfect. How do you even build something like that again? You know what I think you have to do? You have to almost find a way to reset. So DC might be in a good place to do that, but Marvel, I don't know how you do that. Again, I'm not bashing anything anymore. I want to focus on this. You just need to start from the ground up. You need to start with your Iron Man, your Captain America, your Thor, and slowly bring everything up. When you have too much going on, it takes away. You need your core members, your core group, and you need to watch them grow and have some little periphery pieces around them, like a Ant-Man or like a Guardians of the Galaxy, which Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the best CBM trilogies. Can't wait to get to Volume 3. I think we all know where Endgame's going to land on my MCU power rankings. I really am torn between Infinity War and Endgame, because Endgame, I like them both, but in different ways, if that makes sense. However, I got to give the edge to Endgame because of just the epicness of everything. Just the whole universe was building up to this moment, and there was so much pressure on Marvel to deliver with this movie. And not only did they deliver, they exceeded expectations. Maybe that's why they're going back to Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom and the Russo brothers for Secret Wars and Doomsday. I just don't know how they can replicate this. I want to be hopeful. I'm sure that the movies will be amazing, but Endgame is just the cherry on top of an epic 10-year build. No notes. No, I guess I gave a note with Time Child. So with Endgame at number 1, let's talk about our rankings and where we stand. We have Captain Marvel at 21, Iron Man at 20, Thor Dark World is at number 19, Iron Man is at number 18, Ant-Man is number 17, Ant-Man and the Wasp is number 16, Thor is number 15, the Hulk is number 14, Spider-Man is number 13, Guardians of the Galaxy is number 12, Iron Man is number 11, and then in our top 10 we have Age of Ultron, number 10, Doctor Strange, number 9, Captain America First Avenger, number 8, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, number 7, The Avengers, number 6, and now we go into our top 5. This is our top 5, all right? We've covered 21 movies, and we're in our top 5. Thor Ragnarok. Sorry, Winter Soldier is number 5. Thor Ragnarok is number 4. Civil War is number 3. Infinity War, a close number 2. And then we end off with EndGame. Coming up next, we have Spider-Man Far From Home, ending off an epic Phase 3, the best phase. I can tell you right now, the best phase. I'm your host, Mark Savvy. Thank you for listening to another episode of Savvy Geeks. I'll see you next time. Yeah.